Hey guys, so I'm just going to go over part one of the Photoshop color assignment. There's 3 parts to this assignment. Each part has slightly different requirements. The project worksheet is just kind of a quick outline. So with part one, we'll start by downloading the woman with red hair image in week 2, and then we'll change the colors in the image by creating a new hue saturation adjustment layer, which can be found at the bottom of the layers panel. I'll show you that in a minute. And then to adjust the colors in the image, make sure you adjust them far enough that I can tell that you changed it. You can make it kind of extreme, just so I can tell that you did it. Obviously, I'll be opening up that PSD file that you save out of the image as well, so I'll be able to tell if you made the hue saturation adjustment layer. So this is the step-by-step tutorial video for part 1. So we can next go into Photoshop. So I'm in Photoshop right now. I can go File, Open, File at the top menu, Open, and then I need to find that in my Downloads folder, the woman with red hair JPEG. The extension is JPEG, so let's open that up. So this is kind of what Photoshop looks like. Let's go to Window, Workspace, Essentials. Let's see here, Reset Essentials. So let me move this over. This is our Tools panel. I like to have mine open like this. So this is the Tools, and this is the Layers panel. So what we're going to be working with, we can actually unlock our layer by clicking on that lock icon in the Layers panel. And we can actually click down here. Oops. Sorry, click on the this icon here. It looks like a circle with half of it filled in with white. So click on that and go to Hue Saturation. And as you can see, the Properties panel changes, and we can see the saturation. We can actually change the saturation of this image to be quite extreme so that the reds become redder, the blue becomes bluer. We can also desaturate the image by almost just bringing that saturation slider over. And removing the color from the image. So you can either desaturate your image or saturate it. You can also, by default it'll be on master here underneath the custom preset. But you can actually change, if you only want to affect the reds in the image, you can just affect the saturation of the reds in the image, which there's quite a bit in this because she's a redhead. If you just want to affect the blues, you can do that. So make it bluer, just make sure, that you play around with the image. I think if you use this slider here and click on that, you can click on, you get like an eyedropper tool, and you can actually just click and drag to the left or the right while still holding down on your cursor or on your mouse, and you can choose certain colors in the image and work with those in kind of real time almost. So now I'm selecting the reds. If I drag my cursor over to the right, it gets redder. If I drag it over to the left, you can see the saturation bar moving. So it's just kind of almost like a quicker way of doing it. So there's pretty much just blues and reds in this image for the most part. But that's one way of doing it too, is by clicking on this and just clicking on the actual image with the eyedropper, holding down and dragging either to the left or the right to saturate or desaturate certain colors in the image. And I encourage you to do so. One nice thing about working with hue saturation adjustment layers, or adjustment layers in general, is that they do not corrupt the original image. If you want to delete them, it's super easy to just delete it. It comes in as a separate layer, so you're not destroying your original image, or you're not changing your original image. You can still revert back to the original quite easily. So when you're done, changing and experimenting with some of the hue and saturation levels in this image, just do a File, Save As. Keep the name the same. You can save it on your desktop, or actually, better yet, go to your Documents, create a new folder in there, and name it Graphic Design 231. So that would be this one here. And you can just say, name this color assignment. So new folder, color assignment. Create that folder, save this woman with red hair.psd file in there. Make sure your format's on Photoshop. That's the PSD file. This is the working file and the native file out of Photoshop, the one that retains all of the information and all of the layers. So we can push save, and you can create, you can save all of your PSD files that you need for the color change in that, and then upload them at the end of the assignment. Okay, well that's it for part 1.